22. 100 minerals, 25 gas. It's very nice. But, all right, Livy, you ready to hop into this?
I am ready. Are you ready, Rifkin?
I am ready. Spawning here in the bottom left corner of the map. He's on his last life in this best of 5. Hoping to walk out of here today with $50, not 25. Let's give the red Zerg, Acer's Bly.
Opposing him, I would say close by ground. The yellow Protoss, he's ahead 2-0. He's looking comfortable. He's looking snazzy. It's Kiwikaki.
Close by ground. I mean, I think you could actually very technically say that about any map. Like that would not that would not be a falsity on your part.
Close by ground and close by air, actually. As long as it's not cross map, then I'm technically correct.
I'm not gonna argue it because it's a stupid argument. Just gonna completely honest. But yeah, so best of 5s all throughout today, guys. This first one's gone pretty quickly because we did start late, but it's also, I budgeted about an hour's worth of time for each best of 5. So hopefully as long as Puck is here in time for his match, we shouldn't be too delayed. A lot of folks again asking in chat, we get this all the time. Anytime Zombiegrub's not here, people start panicking. Zombiegrub is teaching today, guys. If you don't know, every Wednesday through now till December, Zombiegrub will never be available. She's teaching a class about StarCraft, and it takes, I think, like 4 hours of travel to get there, then 4 hours back. Yeah, I don't know. It's her whole day, so we'll...
It's pretty baller, though, to be teaching StarCraft.
It's cool.
The dream.
Yeah, she's been talking a little bit about it on stream. Like, her students know nothing about the game, and she's, like, having them make build orders and things. And my favorite guy, I don't know who this guy is in her class, but if I ever meet him, I'll buy him a beer, because he just went, like, straight up 7 Colossus and nothing else, because he was told Colossus are good units.
Colossus good units, true. This guy does deserve a beer. Wait, how old are they?
Dude, it's university students. This isn't like high school class. It's pretty legit, which is cool. But yeah, that leaves openings for me to invite more people on the cast. Again, Livy gets a bit of a shout out. Since we do have a slower opening, by the way, waiting for a Bly to hit across the map, I do want to quickly shout out our sponsors as well. Thank you to folks like G2A.com for sponsoring the stream. You see the little logo down here. Bloop, bloop, bloop. I don't know what our transactions are at right now. We normally have that counter on the stream. We were at like 75, 90 something, I think, before we left for California. But unfortunately, I don't know what that is right now. But the point is, we need to make 150 this month. And if we can do that, we're all golden, guys. So if you're going to buy a game online, consider using G2A.com. And if you do, use promo code BASE to get 3% off your purchase.
Nice. Alright, well, Kiwikaki is doing something very similar that he's been doing so far in this series, opening up Adept and going for the robo play.
Yeah, but Lyrelac's a bit of a funny map, but this might be a little bit dangerous early on. I do love that he's doing SimCity. I take all this back. I love the SimCity he's setting up at the natural. Because the reality is, Lyrelac Crest is a funny map where you can't really just wall off one ramp and be good. You have to actually wall off 2. And that's just too costly, too expensive, and too unrealistic. So the SimCity he's made is kind of cool because, again, pylons are overcharged, not the Nexus, and he should be able to defend this pretty easily with 2 or 3 overcharges.
Yeah, very easily. I mean, if you guys don't know about the pylons already, they're really good. Like, pylon overcharge, I think that's what you could call it technically. But they actually do like 50% more damage than a photon cannon.
It's not just about the damage, it's the fact that you can do multiple ones at once. You know, before you had the one Nexus cannon, it had huge range and that was cool. But now if you've got like 4 pylons clumped up, it's really good for defense. Plus you'll need it for supply anyways. I mean, that's exactly what Kiwikaki's done here. Set up this crazy SimCity. The only way for the Lynx to run by would be through that mineral line, that one little patch where the Adepts are. So he's actually fully walled off right now.
Yeah, and now Kiwikaki, his Warp Prism is almost finished warping in, and he's going to be doing that really annoying Adept Harass Warp Prism multi-prong phasing. What is it called again? Psionic trancing?
Psionic transfer.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, but I really like
cool.
this from Bly. Yeah, the Overlord dropping the Zerglings in the main base.
They did recently change this to layer tech, guys. That's why Bly rushed this out so quickly. He's also going Mutas behind this, which is cool, but you do require layer tech to actually get that Overlord drop off, and it's kind of paying off. Already getting quite a few probe kills. Trying to target down the Adepts that are warping in because they will take bonus damage. That's a smart move out of Bly. Runs through. You know, forcing out an overcharge is not the same that it used to be. It's 25 energy now. It's really just not that big of a deal.
Yeah, I feel like Protoss should just be handing out overcharge freely-nilly because they really can afford it. With it being so affordable now.
Okay, so let's see. Bly got about 7 worker kills. I think Kiwikaki might get more than this if he focuses. He is going to focus on the Spire, even warping in Zealots to make sure it goes down a little bit quicker, as they have a lot more consistent damage.
Yeah.
If the Spire goes down, that's going to really suck for Bly. Almost banking on having Mutas to be able to clean up things like the Warp Prism and killing the Adepts a little bit more easily. And that Warp Prism will escape, and the natural base is going to be under attack. Jones is probably pulling surround these a little bit late to the party, so pulling away to defend. Just keep him alive might be the smarter choice.
Yeah, he definitely can't be tanking with these drones. They just die so quickly being light units. And now the Adepts are in the main base to get even more drone kills. This is actually working out to be really nice for Kiwikaki.
Yeah, he's not devastated Bly's worker count, but he did certainly get quite a few kills for this. Now, the downside for Bly is he did never clean up that Warp Prism, so instant warp-ins out of line of sight. There's no Overlord to see this. Kiwikaki might just have another like 6 or 7 Adepts ready to go. Bly barely cleaned up that first round.
Yeah, that Warp Room time from that Warp Prism though, so devastating to see that. Like, they just come out of nowhere almost. It's just like, oh, there's like 4 Adepts in my main base. It's only been like, what, 2 seconds?
Yeah.
No!
So that's when you start doing the Legacy of the Void cinematic 40-gate strategies, right?
Yeah, oh my gosh, that was hilarious. I really like that cinematic though.
Oh, dude, the goosebumps when I first saw that was crazy.
Feels.
Seeing that in the theater too was really cool. You have like Tempo and Desert behind us. There's like me and Zombie Grub and Oli Moly and others. Like seeing it with your friends was like really cool too.
It's like it's next level.
Goes for Zealots again.
Satchery.
This is cool. I really like what Kiwikaki's doing with this. It's really easy to warp in the Adepts and just go for some kills. But the Zealots will definitely take down the Hatchery, whereas if this was a warping of Adepts, it wouldn't be the case.
Yeah, definitely. Like,
the
Zealots do so much damage.
That's so cool. He ran the Adepts just so he could specifically pick up the Zealots. Kiwikaki being so cost-effective with this. And now I'm starting to see why Bly really doesn't like this this matchup. He's just struggling to deal with the early game pressure. This is usually something he's doing the Roaches burrowed in your opponent's natural base. Nice pickup Mike with the Warp Prism as well. 6 range. Basically turns any unit into a blink unit right now.
Wow. Very, very cost-efficient engagement here for Kiwikaki. Like, he killed off the 3rd base, he damaged the 4th base, and I mean, unless he gets these units out super quick, he's already done enough damage to the economy, really, to say that he's done enough.
Yeah, and I think furthermore, there's already double Stargates coming up behind this, while there's a couple of Roaches coming up to the main. Problem is, those mutas aren't going to work out too well. The Phoenix will deal with them very quickly. I would like to see Bly get into Corruptors, though. That ability, I really don't know what's called, but where they basically piss on the buildings. It makes them really viable after they wipe out the air.
Corrosive Bile, I think it's called.
No, Corrosive Bile's the Ravager one.
Oh, yeah. That's because you said it earlier today. It really threw me off. Now I don't know what it's called. Thanks, Rifkin.
Nailed it. No, Fenner, you know who does? Fenner knows what that's called. Fenner was obsessed with that ability for a while, man. Bly devastates the probes, though. While this is going on, we're going to make some jokes. Bly gets so many probe kills here in the Nashville with those Roaches, simultaneously hitting the main. We do have an Observer finally out, so cleaning this up. But down to 32 probes. Kiwikaki feeling the burn of that harass.
Yeah, he finally does clean up the Roaches here in the main base. But the Phoenixes are going to be a little bit problematic to the mutas that Bly has already spent his resources on. I feel like it would have almost been better if he just went straight into Corruptors. I mean, they can do what mutas can do on buildings, at least, with the ability.
I agree, but the problem was Bly didn't actually scout those Stargates, I think, until the Roaches dropped in the main. So at that point, the mutas were already on the way. I still don't think 8 meters is bad, though. Hear me out on this, right? Because the mobility is at least going to keep the Phoenix chasing them around the map instead of just coming directly over and picking up a ton of drones and blasting everything away.
That's true, but, I mean, Phoenixes just kill mutas so quickly, especially when you have 7 or 8 Phoenixes against mutas.
You know,
oh my gosh.
Scarlet's got a build on HOTS right now that involves going Mass Queen Infestor. And I kind of can't help but feel like that would actually be really good in this situation. In fact, I think it would be amazing in this situation. Hydras are cutting back, though. The Adepts taking a little bit of damage to the transfer, but the mutas keep the Phoenix from Graviton beaming. Fortunately, it's just not enough on the ground for Bly. He's dying. Everything he makes is susceptible to what's on the field.
Yeah, he's got like 11 Hydralisks popping out, but it's just not going to be enough.
No, they get picked up one at a time as well, doing a little bit of a dance in the air. Corpse flies down. I think Kiwikaki is going to walk away today with a 3-0.
And we didn't want it to happen, but it was looking like it is actually going to happen. I mean,
but you know, Libby,
Protoss.
For the entire duration of the beta, we haven't seen Protoss win anything. They've just been struggling to get any victory whatsoever anywhere. So it's kind of cool at the same time to see Kiwikaki devastate one of the better players who's won several Lycan leagues, won many weeklies through the Elite Leagues, things like this. I mean, Bly has been a really great beta player, and we just watch him get destroyed by this.
If I hear anyone on ladder complain about Protoss being underpowered, I'm going to refer them to this show match and get very upset with them.
Bros, learn to control your adepts. That's the solution, right? I mean, this is really well handled by Kiwikaki. This is really well done. The immortal composition
played very well. Like his micro's been on point. He's definitely been practicing this strategy multiple times. It's very crisp, very well executed.
Yeah, but the thing is, while I wouldn't call this overpowered and unbeatable, I would like to see something like, again, Mass Queen Infestor or going Corruptors instead of the Mutalist. There's a lot of different ways this could have played out, perhaps a little bit differently on Bly's end as well. I don't think Kiwikaki has an unbeatable composition, but what Bly has can't beat it type thing.
Yeah.
This is a nice catch for him. I don't think it's going to catch him back up in the game. Although, it's worth noting, Bly's Roaches did do a ton of damage to the probe line while this went on. So if Bly could somehow find a way to stabilize, I think he'd be okay. He is on 2 bases after all. But I don't know that his army can take this on.
I mean, he still does have the Spire, but he doesn't really have the bank to make the Corruptors to oppose the Phoenixes.
Nice. He just snipes off the sentry, so it's not... Oh, sorry, I guess there was one more sentry there. So he can force field once again, but... Well, he's cleaning up the Immortals. He's dealing with most of the Adepts on the ground. It is a question of, like, will those Phoenix be too much? Bly stabilizes here, surprisingly.
Yep, there's still 7 Phoenixes, though, and that's going to be really hard for Bly to contest against. Yeah. Against very, very low saturated 2 base that Bly still has available to him now. I mean, Kiwikaki, his probes, most of them were sent to the main base so that he could save them from the Roaches. So he's just transferred those to his natural. He's got a quite healthy economy for a Protoss player, really, that still has gateways available to him. And Bly has to rebuild most of his tech. It's going to be very difficult for him.
Sick move out of Kiwikaki to save his Immortal. He actually Graviton beams it up. Ah, man, I love when Protoss players do that. That's so cool. It looks like a misclick, but it's like the greatest save and the best move you can make.
Nice. Well, Kiwikaki, he's actually got 2 more Phoenixes to join the pack. He can pretty much just lift up every drone there and ignore the Spore Crawler. And cancel out Bly's economy completely. But Roaches, 7 Roaches coming into the natural base.
There's so many overcharges right now, though. Like, these pylons should all just get overcharged, as we see starting to happen, and deal so much damage to these Roaches. It's a real non-issue. The Force will keep nothing here, I guess. There's going to tunneling claw through, but Bly loses what little he had left. Down to 8 army supply. You know, he might have a decent economy, and he might have a couple of bases, but he's got nothing to fight with. And more importantly, nothing to distract with. If he could somehow keep Kiwikaki at home long enough to build up an army back at home, maybe it's not so bad. Maybe he recovers, I say with a question mark. But Kiwikaki's on 3 bases. His probe count's getting back up there with the Chrono Boost, helping this out a ton. And frankly, the Mothership Core will defend this. There's no overcharge. He sees those Roaches. Get out of here. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and Kiwikaki's going to walk across the map now. Target down the hatchery. He's going to end the game pretty soon here. Once the hatchery falls, there's not really much Bly can do. He's got 5 Roaches in production.
He needed that base too much. I mean, the game, I think we all know this game's been over for a while, but respect goes to Bly for buying as much time as he has. I mean, these sort of tactics, they look silly, and a lot of you are writing this off right now, but these are the type of tactics I wish more players would employ. Where you're like, look, I'm behind, I know I can't win, but if I can buy enough time, maybe I get myself back in the game. Comebacks are very real in StarCraft 2, they're just not that common is the problem. But Bly's sadly not going to be awarded one of those opportunities now. Last unit's starting to go down. Spore Crawlers, like crazy, but they can't shoot down, and the Immortals deal with them very quickly.
Yeah, for sure. Oh man, targeting down this hatchery though. This hatchery falls, and here comes the drone pulls, pulling all the drones off the line, desperately trying to save the hatchery, but the hatchery goes down. He doesn't even have enough minerals to rebuild it. He does have a hatchery building in the natural though, but that's not going to be up for still another minute or so.
You know, we always talk about the stubbornness of Bly, which is kind of funny in this instance of the game. There's situations where before his Roach attacks would always fail, he'd do Nidus Swarms, they'd fail, but like it'd be the 5th or 4th, 6th Nidus Swarm that would finally break his opponent, right? Like just because the first one failed, he'd stay in the game, and he'd actually eventually make it work. I don't know that that's actually a possibility here. Such imbalance at the moment. Not happy with this at all. Good game is called, and Kiwikaki will take the series 3-0.
Nice. Kiwikaki went to bed early last night, prepared himself mentally, physically, and he pulled through with a 3-0.
Sorry, I'm just checking messages, trying to figure out what's going on with my ride later today. But okay, that actually is so close to time. Now we're going to move on to another series. It's going to be PvT this time. And to be honest, as much as, again, I'm curious to see if Puck can overcome Beastie, a PvP finals would be kind of interesting because we don't see a lot of those either. But either way, we're going to go to a small break, guys. We got to get this sorted. Beastie/Puck, start Vetoes. Please. And if they can't pick, we'll just coin flip. Again, all this cool swag behind me is not mine. I really wish it was. This is the Blizzard office, guys. They let me stream. They're being super awesome people about this because I kind of expressed how like desperately we want to get back online and how badly we need to get the stream up and going again. So what are we at now? We're about 1,400 people coming here for like a very janky ass cast. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Libby, thank you again for casting with me, and we'll be back in a couple minutes, guys, while we get this next thing set up. So stick around.
Nice.